First tonight, a couple accused of running unlicensed assisted living facilities are being held on no bond. It comes after a court hearing that happened earlier today. I'm Lindsay Sablon.
I'm Jesse Pagan. Detectives say the facilities run by Ronald Pack and Marie Kiernan saw multiple deaths since an investigation started in March of 2025.
West 2's Haley Crumble-Home is live after hearing people testify to some of these conditions in these facilities.
So these were facilities for the elderly and the disabled, and some of the accusations made today included roach infestations, people not able to access their medications, and locks on windows, doors, and refrigerators. Marie Kiernan was led into the courtroom in handcuffs. Her husband, Ronald Pack, close behind her, sharing a Bible verse when he saw the camera.
Matthew 6:33.
Hey, come on.
The couple is facing charges including aggravated abuse of an elderly or disabled adult in connection with unlicensed assisted living facilities they were running, 8 of them in Osceola County. A detective said the homes run as Cherish Home Care and Cherish Independent Living Care had nearly 400 calls for service since 2024. Some he responded to himself. He said of the conditions there.
They were unkept, they were dirty, they smelled, there were locks on windows, doors, refrigerators, pantries.
Another woman who was at one point a resident and then an employee said the homes lacked basic necessities.
What were people using for toilet paper?
Rags, their own socks, their own underwear.
A detective said 5 people had died that had previously been or were at the time in the care of these facilities, with one detective citing a DCF report saying a man who died had not been receiving his medications, and a death certificate for another woman that noted severe bed sores as contributing to her death. The defense seeming to question the timeline of when that woman was in the defendant's care and when she died.
Do you know how much time had elapsed between the time she was removed and her death?
No, ma'am.
Do you know where she was residing or under whose care she was residing when she passed away?
No.
The prosecution brought up the son of a man who died while in the care of one of Kiernan and Pack's facilities.
In my unprofessional opinion, I believe that if my father were in any other care, whether it be mine, my sister's, or somewhere that's legitimate, he would still be with us today.
The defense questioned the man about what caused his father's death and argued in closing statements the deaths aren't the issue the court is considering.
The death certificates note that it's natural causes. We're not here for any type of murder investigation, Your Honor.
But ultimately, on 2 of the charges they are facing,
Each co-defendant may be held on a no-bond status until further order of the court.
now the couple pleaded not guilty to the charges they're facing. Today was just the pretrial detention hearing. Their actual trial is set to start next month. Covering Osceola County live in Kissimmee, Haley Crumble-Home, West 2 News.